Welcome to a new episode of Grab Life by the Horns and our brand new series, Networking with UK Business Minds and Leaders. This series is designed to connect you with successful entrepreneurs and leaders and innovators from the UK, allowing you to tap into their insights, doesn't matter where you are based in the world. In this episode, we have the wonderful Liv Richardson, a personal trainer who specializes in empowering busy professional women to achieve their fitness goals. Liv transitioned from a 9-to-5 job in marketing to find her passion in fitness, a field where she truly makes a difference. As one of Liv's clients, I can personally attest to the impact she has made in my life. The best thing that happened to me when I arrived in the UK was signing up at this gym and meeting Liv as a PT. She was the only trainer who genuinely connected with everyone in her class. She pushed me to and above my limits with kindness and pressure. The summer sweat program she launched was the game changer, creating a supportive community of women not only focusing on workouts and fitness, but having fun too. I really rediscovered my passion for sports, and Liv also motivated me to run each week, helping me settle in a new country and meet amazing people. I can't thank Liv enough for going the extra mile. She truly loves what she does. Having this said, let's dive into this conversation with Liv and talk about the importance of building confidence and how to maintain motivation even if life gets overwhelming. Are you ready? Liv, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name's Liv. I'm a PT. I have worked in the fitness industry for just up to nearly a year and a half now. And it hasn't always been that way. So I have worked as a professional in a 9-to-5 job. It wasn't really for me. I think I was in marketing, just as a background, and I did want something a bit more, something that I can put myself into, I can relate to, and I do feel like I'm doing a lot better at doing that kind of stuff. So that's how I sort of got there. It's also the reason why it's a very recent career change, if you call a year and a half recent, but absolutely loving it. I do a lot with functional fitness, sort of looking good, just not only to look good, but to feel good as well, and general health, sort of full picture, including every single aspect of it, not just the way we look. So it's a lot of confidence building, like as you might feel yourself, Jen, it's not just all about how we want to lose weight or get toned. It's just about how we're feeling ourselves that can actually just override absolutely everything. So that is sort of where I'm at with the PT. Yeah.
It's amazing. And you told me you did a lot of sports already when you started when you were very young and came into this direction. So you said like really professional as well. So in football and hockey. So
yeah,
what did you do exactly?
So quite high level. Not completely professional, but I did get into like a high standard of play. It was definitely a very competitive sport. It was when I was doing them both at the same time, and then I do now just only play the hockey. But I think with that background, having that background in my family, my brothers play football, my dad loves the gym, and having sort of that atmosphere does help me get into fitness. I think it didn't really come to me that not everyone has that when they grow up, and it's also the reason why I wanted to get into this, to sort of help people that don't have that sort of support in their normal lives outside the gym, just to sort of get on top of it. But yeah, I think I've been very lucky that I've sort of grown up with that around me.
That's true, and yet you still have fun with it.
Yeah,
Because like, when it compared to myself, like I grew up with sports as well, but I lost my fun with it. So I'm so happy that you brought me back into the state that I'm have fun again with my sports.
yeah,
And this is so great to hear. And well, I really love to hear that that your journey began with this, and that you
yeah,
find your passion and love doing what you want and what you
yeah,
love, what you're passionate about.
yeah. It didn't always start that way. So especially with the gym stuff, because there is a lot that started off with when I if I track back when I was talking about it's not only about how you look. It definitely was for me when I first started. And I think that's where a lot of people start. That's when they're getting into the gym, it is the trigger to be like, right, I need to do something about how I feel about myself. And that is just like on the outside. I was 13 when I first started the gym. There was a small gym, a family gym, that it opened as you can have a team membership for a certain amount of hours, was particularly to draw in the teenage crowd. And I think I'd get off the bus and go to the gym when there was no one there, because obviously I think there was a couple of hours, so most of the other people from the school would go home, get changed, and I liked that. I realized that I can go in and do it by myself. And it also meant that there was a PT there called Mike, who's still around in Macclesfield, who's a great PT, that showed me a lot of stuff. I was only 13. I didn't have a part-time job at that point. So I wouldn't have ever been a client for him. So it was sort of nice that he showed me the ropes, definitely from a really young age, and I was lucky to have that around me. So it is sort of the value of like getting a bit of help to sort of realize that. And that's where it started going from strength to strength, literally knowing that it's not just about how you look, and sort of being a bit more confident in yourself actually goes a lot more of a longer way. And with exercise being a psychological catalyst for that and feeling good, definitely just outweighed everything. And it took me a while to get to that point, but I think with the right people around you, do you know, when we did the group stuff,
Yes.
it was great just to see everyone like sort of join for that starting point, but then actually like see the community evolve and things like you've experienced yourself. It was good.
It was amazing. It
Yeah,
was amazing. And it's great to see, like, because like we're coming all from a different angles, and like somehow it fits together, and it's an
yeah,
amazing group of women. Um, you told as well that you have like helped already like more than 100 people to
yeah.
gain their fitness goals. So what did you experience? Like, what was the successes you have really like directly in your mind when you think about that, and what you would say, what make really a difference when you worked with them?
The difference is the effort and what you get back. Because I think with it being sort of your job to do something for someone, it's with the level of support I provide like different packages and stuff. Some of them are very basic, that um it's the value of what you give to them, sort of aligns with the price. And then sometimes the people like see, you know, compare the pricing options and don't go fully in with it expecting one session a week and not going along with the whole package. So sort of the effort that they put into that, and if they don't stay on top of that, is what really does make the difference. Day to day, I'm not saying exercise every day, and that's something that we've spoke about. This you know, going day to day, making sure every little habit is on track to going towards that goal. And it does make a difference with the clients that I have in the past. There have been a few that um do find it difficult, but that is my job, to sort of push them to see that it's doable, and
Yeah,
you know, and keep
and you do a great job with that.
yeah, yeah,
Pushing people outside their limits.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And like you work every day with people, they overcome the challenge when it comes to fitness. For sure, you have some experienced some challenges yourself as well when it comes to business. Like what were they and how to overcome them in the past?
I think,
Or maybe as well, like if it's not in the last 1.5 years, maybe you have some examples, you know, in your life, what you think, okay, this is like basically this is how overcame my challenges, and this is how I handle difficulties.
yeah, challenges come across every day of life. Like I know you work with a lot of professionals. Um and I think the outside view of when you look at other people that are really successful, doing really well, is you think that they were just on one upwards climb. That's not always the case, as everyone sort of knows. Sometimes it can be a couple of steps back, you know, you fall back. And it is the challenge of sort of when you become a bit demotivated, how can you just motivate yourself? And I think a lot of people can relate that motivation isn't always there when it needs to be. And it's, you know, it's not something that you can just wait for. So it's not, you know, when people say, well, I'll stop tomorrow. Um, this is saying it just to sort of get that PTs ourselves don't have it just an easy ride. I do have my weeks where I don't want to get in to train, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed with the amount I'm doing. Same with business. It's just if you keep on going, you might wake up one day and be like, you know what, I've got a lot on today and I really, really can't be bothered. But it doesn't work like that. It's you've got to sort of push yourself through it, find that motivation from the rewards you're getting from doing that, from completing tasks, from completing things like that. And it's just what I sort of pride myself on. One of my mottos is just do it. Um, just do what comes across as hard. It's hard, but if you keep on doing that hard thing, it'll become easy. And that's where you want to sort of have your mindset and training your brain to sort of think that way. So it's not even just a training body kind of thing, but training people's brains to sort of consistently do different kind of things that they wouldn't usually do, with their weight loss kind of stuff. I think that's one of my biggest challenges. Sort of getting over those humps, myself feeling a bit burnt out in my own exercise, and knowing that it's okay to sort of not feel okay, take a step back, and you know, go for it.
This is a really good point, and I wanted to talk with you about this anyway, because like
Yeah.
when we talked earlier as well, you said like, well, consistency is so important. And then
Yes.
you know, experiencing myself as well, like usually you have this attitude to push through, and
Mm.
there's no excuses, you just do it. But then
Yeah.
it comes to a point where you're totally exhausted and where you know, balance sleep versus your stuff you
Yeah.
have to do the whole day. And then do you balance, like, do you prioritize sleep or training? And how do you realize, like, when do I have the permission to give the permission myself to basically slow down for the day,
Mm.
for the, you know, for the bigger picture, to serve the bigger picture and to stay, because life is a marathon, it's not a sprint,
Yeah.
obviously. So when is the point you would say, okay, it's okay to give yourself permission to stay at home and to focus on, like, to slow down? When it is for you, like this point, I think for so many people, it's so hard to find this point when they say, okay, if I would do this now and I would not, if I would push through, like basically it goes in a, like it would not have the effect, it would have a negative effect on my day, on my week, whatever. And
Mm.
how do you learn to know yourself this good that you know what I mean? You not say, okay, I'm just staying at home because I'm too lazy. When is the point? Where's the line for
Yeah,
you?
I think it's a good question. It's definitely important. It's first of all, rest is just priority, like it's so important. Um, a lot of people might know this, might not know this, but when you do your training, it's your rest time. That's when all the small changes, the chemical reactions and stuff in your body to sort of evolve is going to be happening. So without that, it's nothing. A lot of obviously more experienced athletes might not need as much rest time. That is true. But it's so if you're starting out, 2 to 3 exercise sessions per week is enough. You'll actually probably find that's a lot more effective than what so many sessions would be. So definitely for a beginner. With balancing sleep, prioritize your sleep again, being on top form with your energy levels, everything. That's what, yeah, your body is sort of like an engine at the end of the day. It needs fuel, it needs the sleep, it needs sort of energy to keep on going and keep on doing those metabolic processes. From anything from digestion to obviously the respirative process that happens when you're doing exercise. So with that, don't overdo it. It's not going to do anything. I think with learning yourself, it's definitely just listen to your body. You've probably seen it tons and tons before if you're sort of interested in the fitness industry. Sort of how to do that, know when you need a rest. And that can be hard, especially when you've got goals and you've got your goals at the front of your mind. I think what your goals need to be seen as is sort of long-term goals that aren't going to be met if you keep on hammering it out and hammering out all your energy. Obviously, productiveness will decline, effectiveness will decline, and just being a bit more aware of that than going full steam ahead. Again, I think a lot of people that are in the professional world probably do struggle with this a bit more. Mums as well. I work with a lot of mums. Balancing out your time is so important, and it's important to acknowledge that we're not all Olympic athletes. Even PTs, like they've got a full-time job to do that's not training. So it's a relatable topic even for me. That's I do feel my stages of burning out and becoming a lot better at just sort of taking the foot off the gas a bit and knowing that what I'm doing is actually doing me a lot more better for my long-term goals anyway, so that I can actually have quality training rather than just sort of coasting, not using any energy for good, and burning myself out completely so I can't provide that energy for all aspects of my life. So I definitely think listen to your body. Don't sort of push yourself to a degree where you're not feeling like you're in the room, or it can happen very fast as well. Fuel yourself, decent nutrition, okay? But yeah, that's just trust me, it can make a massive difference. Like obviously, if you are doing doing more intensive exercise, make sure you're hitting that protein. It's where it's going to make the difference between feeling very tired and lethargic and low and putting things in towards your goals.
It's really interesting, like how the body is working and how less people actually know how their body is working and what everything affects the energy level and the performance as well, from like not only from when we talk about sports, but life, personal life, business, brain work,
brain power, yeah.
This is really it's really interesting.
Yes.
When like something personal about you as well, like what kind of values do you have for yourself? Like give me your 5 values you live by, and like you make your decisions after them. And
okay, my top 5 is consistency, discipline, just fun, love, and also to accept failure. I'll explain that one. To accept failure, I think a lot of people who are maybe professional and stuff, I think the others is a bit self-explanatory, so we'll just jump to that one and just go for that one. I think it's okay to sort of accept that something hasn't worked out and accept it, because it happens to everyone, that happens to the best of us. I think the one thing that turns it into not failure is learning from it and learning from what happened, and just accepting that makes it a lot easier to sort of just be like, right, that's okay. What am I going to do now? And where am I going to go with this? What am I going to learn from it? You know, how am I going to move forward? I think that's one of my main things. It does make life a lot better, knowing that, you know, you can go forward with a bit more positive mindset, flip the switch, and I think that's probably one of the main things that has changed my life in a positive way.
Do you expect the same values from your clients, or what is it like when we become your client? What do you expect from your client to become your client? And do you reject clients as well? And when yes, why?
I have rejected clients before, on the basis that if I can see that they're not in it, and they might not be there. There is the wheel of change. I think a lot of people heard about the wheel of change, a psychological model that sort of talks about where people are at. They can start off with sort of being aware of something, to contemplation, and then going towards making the change. If they're in the sort of contemplation, it's not always the best thing for me and them to sort of go ahead with working together. And I'll tell you why. So if there was someone that was wanting to make a change, that holds for me at the moment a lot of valuable time, that where it's, you know, we could actually do something about something. And at the moment I'm at a point where I don't want to take on clients that aren't willing to sort of do the things that they don't want to do. A lot of personal training is sort of a little bit of what they want, a little bit of what they need. We do need to make it fun and enjoyable, like you said. I don't want anyone falling off the cliff because they absolutely hate everything they're doing. But the reason why they've come to me is because they want to make change, and that is something that they don't necessarily want to do. So definitely look for sort of not necessarily coming to me with the same values that I have, because I think part of my job is sort of drilling those values into them, with the consistency, discipline. And I think that's what a lot of people learn from personal training, that it's not just the exercises that they go through. It's sort of, it's not easy. It's not an easy journey, and it's not. But having those things in mind, to say if there was a morning that you didn't want to attend a session, just doing it. There's a massive thing that I've started to implement into my clients, and that's the rule of thirds. I think it was an Olympic coach for the US athletics team came up with this concept, the rule of thirds, saying that every session doesn't have to be 100%. You can split it up into thirds, where at least you're getting 1/3 of the session completely 100% effort, you know, drive out, and then the second third, okay, and then the third, you know, not so great. But that's just knowing that people are human, and knowing that as long as they're turning up for every session, boxes ticked, another sort of phrase that I like to use, box ticked and done, then I'm happy. And it just means that they're getting that consistency in to learn habits not for the short term, but for the long term.
It's yeah, that's really a good point. And I just had in my mind that what helps me really, like knowing that you are around in the same gym that I'm going to, and training with you as well in the groups, are really is I know that you are aware of the people around you, this accountability that I know I'm visible. And with everything what I do, and even more if I'm not doing it. So there is a checkpoint at one time. And obviously, I don't want to miss that. I don't want to, want to come there and have not this improvement what I thought I should have. Obviously, there are ups and downs, and like as we already talked about, it's like it's not going a straight line when it comes to sports. The same thing in life as well. But having this permanent checking points, it's really good. It's a good pressure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What slogan do you have in life, or motto, or what do you follow to push through?
One of the biggest things that changed how I see a lot of things that I found difficult, especially in the difficult times so recently when I haven't been well, and I still had work on to sort of get myself up and going, is counting down from 5. A nice simple concept. It's not so much a slogan or a motto, but just a rule that I have with myself, that's if I don't feel motivated to do something, I'm not going to wait for that motivation to come. I'm going to count down from 5. If I haven't started before that countdown, there's no not starting before that countdown's finished. I'll start from 5, just count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go. You sort of, I have read that there's a lot of reasons why this works. I listened to a podcast on it. Mel Gibbons talks about motivation and why it's completely rubbish. And she talks about how it's not the complete, like, so when you're waiting for something to happen, it's sometimes a lot of the thought processes that actually stop you before you do it. And to train your brain to go from being a thinker rather than a doer is actually extremely difficult. To sort of get over that, and sort of, you can distract yourself away from any thoughts that maybe any alternative solutions to what you've got to push yourself to do. It's just by counting down from 5, and then it's done. And yeah, that's one of the rules I live by now.
This is, I think it's really helpful for the most of them. This is exactly the point why I do my sports in the morning, because during the day I would have too much time to find tons of excuses why not doing the workout at the end of the day.
And then obviously when you're not feeling motivated at all, like 5 seconds can be enough to change your mind. So say if I have to get up and do some work when I've not actually got to be anywhere, but I know that I've got stuff on, 5 seconds is all it takes just to make me just roll over in bed, hit the snooze. But yeah, gets me out. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the women as well that you are coaching. Like, is there really a difference when you train women and men, and why you focus so much on professional women? Why did you pick this group especially, and why can you help them so much with getting into their fitness, body, health, wealth, whatever the situation?
Women have a lot more issues to sort of prevent them. That's not how I wanted it to turn out, but women have a lot more preventative sort of factors, and a lot of things against us when it comes to health and fitness. We're not naturally as strong. We can have fluctuations in hormones. That's not just throughout monthly cycles and things, that's throughout our lives. Things change. Men are like that. So where we're like that. So I think with being really, really related to that, with having a lot of symptoms with my own kind of experiences, it is something that's fitness has sort of really, really helped that. And it does make sense for me to want to sort of help women achieve what I've achieved, with sort of helping my body, feeling a lot healthier for those reasons. And yeah, I think that's a massive reason why I love helping women, and women are great.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything, because we want to know you as well a little bit better, and I love this question to get a little bit a look behind the scenes and show people as well who you are, and maybe something that is not that visible to everybody of us. Is there something you can tell us about yourself that we remember when after this conversation, long time
Okay.
in the future?
I'm really, one of my hobbies used to be art. I'm quite good. I have quite a nice artistic flair. I don't think many people in the gym things know about that about me, because I think a lot of it is all sport, gym, sport, that I'm always talking about. But that's something. I used to draw.
This is really something I did not expect when I met you, because it's really like every time when I see you, it's like, okay, you come from sport, you go to sport.
Yeah, and you wouldn't imagine that is I know, and I'm quite for those that don't know me, I am literally here, there, everywhere. Quite a lot of high energy, and I like, in my downtime, I like to just sit and do nothing, just with a pen and draw.
This is really, really interesting.
Very different.
Thank you so much for sharing this.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you are passionate about next to sports and art? What you love to do in life?
I am very passionate about psychology and mental health. Running, I think, has boosted my mental health. I'm really, really looking forward to running the Great Run next year, the Great North Run, and hoping to do that in aid of a mental health charity I've not decided on yet, but I'm definitely going to be looking at doing that, because that's something that's quite close to the heart, with the whole fitness stuff, and that's something that I find quite interesting with the whole psychological sort of field.
Which was really good, goes hand in hand with the sports anyway. So,
yes,
you know, like mental health and physical health goes really good together. That's amazing. What are the next steps in for your professional life? What you plan for yourself?
Keep growing an army of strong women. I think that's the main thing. Strong, smart, successful women is go like where I want to go, and I am looking to get a lot more of the percentage of my work online, and that's sort of where I want to, the space that I kind of want to be. I do have a few online clients, but a lot of the majority of the stuff that I do is in person at the moment. So that's where I'm looking to go, because I think working with sort of just like getting people to be a bit more independent is where I want to be, and working with the busier people that don't have time for PT.
Which are great news for all the women all around the world, not only in East Cheshire, to work with you, because this is really amazing that you are available online. And for all of you who are interested, like we have your contact details below the podcast, so don't hesitate to reach out to Liv. I can really recommend her, as you already heard in the introduction.
Yes.
So this is I can really recommend working with you, and it's changed my life as well, because what you said, this consistency and having this, like make the decision, integrate sports in your life. And then that's it. Like, it's just, you have to make this decision and then go for it and be consistent with it and have this long-term goal, what you already mentioned anyway. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you're doing really well.
Thank you.
You're doing great. Yeah.
Is there anything we didn't mention yet, what you say, well, I really wanted to point this out for you, and it's really like, really important for me to let you guys know what I did not ask you yet.
No, I think just, I know this is going to go out to a lot of professionals in that kind of space. So I think just keep on doing what you're doing. Know that fitness is not going to completely tire you out. There's different ways to do it. 30-minute sessions can be enough from if you're starting off with nothing. I think a lot of people find the fitness kind of stuff to sort of prevent a lot of like stresses, if you've got a lot of stress from work, and there is those benefits. So if it is time constraints and stuff, and you do sort of need like anything like figuring out, you've got your timetable and things, just drop me a message, because I do have a lot of people with 8-day weeks and crazy schedules. But if you wanting a bit of my crazy chaotic sort of sessions, like as no, if you want any of the sort of fitness help, please drop me a message, and I'll be absolutely privileged to sort of work with any of you. And I'm sure you will achieve your goals as well, like you and everybody who's working with you. This is it's really like, it makes a lot of fun. And if you're in Cheshire, in East, especially in around Macclesfield, like, reach out. We have a great group, and this is I can really highly recommend it. Liv, thank you so much for joining and being here and talking to us. And I wish you all the best. And thank you again. Whoa. So okay, this is the sign. It's done. We are done for now. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me.
Do you want to get paid? Introducing Legacy Builders Global, where everybody gets paid. We don't create investors. We create legacy builders. Legacy Builders Global. Visit us at www.legacybuildersglobal.com.